Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into Google's brand new certification, and it's for a totally new kind of executive, the Generative AI Leader. Let's get right into it. So, let's be real. You're a manager, a consultant, a strategist, and you're probably asking yourself, is this whole AI revolution going to pass me by just because I don't code in Python? Is being a leader in this new world only for the techies? Well, Google's answer to that is a hard no. In fact, they've figured out that the real bottleneck, the thing holding companies back, isn't the technology. It's the fact that there aren't enough leaders who know how to strategically apply it. And that is the exact gap this certification is designed to fill. Okay, so this lack of strategic vision has basically created a huge demand for a brand new role in the business world, the generative AI leader. Let's break down what that actually means. Now, the most important part of this whole thing is that last little phrase, explicitly non-technical. This isn't for the developers, it's for you. It's for the person who can stand between the tech team and the boardroom and translate. You're the one who can look at a tough business problem and say, oh, I know the right AI tool to fix that. And look, the payoff here works two ways. For you as an individual, this thing is a massive career boost. It's proof that you have strategic skills in the hottest field out there. And for your company, well, you suddenly become the person who can find new ways to make money, make sure AI is being used the right way, and really, truly change the business. All right, so let's say you're interested. Where in the world do you start? Let's take a look at the official roadmap that Google themselves have laid out, starting with their own free training. Google has made this super accessible. We're talking about 5 courses you can take whenever you want, and the whole thing takes about 8 hours, basically a single workday. And you want to know the best part? It is totally 100% free on their Cloud Skills Boost platform. And the way they've structured this just makes sense. You start big picture, getting beyond just thinking about chatbots. Then you drill down into the basics, like what's the actual difference between AI and ML? From there, you get the lay of the land, learn the tools, figure out how to use them in your own job, and then boom, you learn how to scale it all to transform your entire organization. It's the full strategic picture A to Z. All right, so you've done the coursework. Now you've got to prove you know your stuff. It's time to talk about the exam itself, what I like to call the gauntlet. So let's just run through the nuts and bolts. You've got 90 minutes to answer somewhere around 45 to 60 multiple choice questions. It costs $99 to register, and the best part, no prerequisites. You can just sign up and go for it. If you pass, that certification is good for 3 whole years. Seems pretty straightforward, but let's see what they actually test you on. Okay, pay attention, because this slide is everything. Just look at those numbers. Over a third of your final score, the single biggest slice of the pie, is all about knowing Google Cloud's specific products. This isn't some abstract theoretical AI test. No, it's an exam about how to apply Google's tools. That right there is the secret to passing. And this is a perfect example of what you'll face. The exam will give you a business problem. It'll say something like, you're a huge company that needs to build a secure, scalable AI app. Well, that's Vertex AI Studio. Then the next question might be, you're a lone developer who wants to prototype an idea for free, really fast. That's Google AI Studio. Knowing which is basically a free point on the exam. Here's another classic one. How do you make your AI model smarter for your specific business? Do you need to actually retrain its brain, its core knowledge, on something like legal documents? That's fine-tuning. Or do you just need it to answer questions using your company's live inventory data without making stuff up? That's grounding, also known as RAG. There are different tools for totally different business problems, and you have to know when to use each. So that's the official story from Google. But what are the people who've actually sat down and taken this thing saying? Let's get into the real talk. At first glance, the word on the street from experts like Andrew Brown over at Free Code Camp is that, yeah, this is a pretty accessible exam. It's widely seen as the easiest way to get your foot in the door with Google Cloud certs. But, and this is a big but, don't get too comfortable. Because the one piece of feedback you hear over and over and over from people who've taken it is that the real exam is way harder than the practice questions Google gives you. And they all use the same word, substantially harder. And here's the kicker. Here's why. It's not that the tech is more difficult, it's the wording. The questions are wrapped up in all this confusing business language that makes it really hard to figure out what they're even asking. You'll get questions where two answers seem right, and you have to pick the best one based on some tiny clue in the business problem.
So what does that mean for your study schedule? Well, based on what people are saying, if you're already an AI pro, you can probably cram for this in 2 or 3 days. If you're a business professional, the person this is actually for, plan on a solid week. And if you're totally new to all this, give yourself about 10 days just to be safe.
Okay, so we know what's on the exam, and we know where people get tripped up. So now, let's just lay out a super clear, actionable blueprint to make sure you pass.
It honestly just comes down to this simple 2-step formula. Step 1, master the what. Go through every minute of Google's free course and do those little quizzes at the end until you get 100%, because people have reported those exact questions show up on the real test. Then, step 2, and this is absolutely critical, master the how. You have to use practice exams from other companies to train your brain for that tricky business case wording. And for that crucial second step, these are the names that keep coming up. People who passed are constantly saying that questions from sites like SkillCert Pro and MyExamCloud were almost identical to what they saw on the real exam. And if you want a fantastic free resource, that 3-hour video from Free Code Camp is an amazing prep guide.
So let's just boil it all down to one single idea. The most important thing to remember is this: passing this exam has nothing to do with being an engineer. It has everything to do with being a strategist. It's about your ability to look at a business challenge and confidently say, yep, I know the right Google tool for that job.
So, there you have it. That is the blueprint for Google's Generative AI Leader certification. As business and technology become the same thing, it's pretty clear that the leaders who can speak both languages are the ones who are going to build the future. The only question left is, are you going to be one of them?
Rise up, rise high. Let your spirit take flight. Chase the stars, never back down from the fight. We're warriors inside.